Welcome to today's virtual company showroom, which is with Renishaw. They are a FTSE 250 global engineering and scientific technology company, and they have core skills in measurement, motion control, additive manufacturing, healthcare, spectroscopy, and manufacturing. And I'm delighted to say that today we're joined by Esther Comabella, who is head of human resources and who is usually based, I think, in Barcelona, but today is actually in Poland. So Esther joined Renishaw in May 2019 as head of human resources EMEA and is currently leading HR projects in 18 countries. And we also have CERN alumnus Max Pindo, who's France sales and marketing director. So Max joined Renishaw in April 22 as France sales and marketing director, I just said. He previously worked for Emerson Automation Solutions, Pentair Valves and Controls, Toppan and DuPont Photomasks, and ST Microelectronics, and has more than 25 years experience in engineering, technical sales, and management. So we'll have about a 40-minute presentation from Esther and Max, and then you'll have the opportunity to ask your questions. So I think I'm handing over to Esther. So please, Esther, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Rachel, and welcome everyone. Yes, as Rachel has mentioned, I'm working in the HR file for Renishaw, managing mainly 18 countries that we will show you later. So I will just give you a general explanation and introduction to Renishaw, just to understand better what we are, how we are, what are we doing, and then later on, Max will complement with the technical area. So Max, if you can move forward, please. Good. As a general explanation, Renishaw is a multinational company. Our headquarters are based in the UK, very close to Bristol. We are more than 5,000 employees worldwide, with 77 offices in 36 countries. So we are a listed company, and as Rachel announced as well, our core business is industrial meteorology. We are working as well on healthcare and spectroscopy and additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing is 3D printing, and we are specialized, we are world leader in 3D printing, especially in metal 3D printing. Big numbers just for you to have in mind very rapidly. Our revenue last year was £671 million. As I mentioned, we are located in 36 countries, more than 5,000 employees. And one of the good investments that Renishaw has is we invest every year 30% of the revenue in R&D. So we are continuously innovating, continuously investing in new products, in new technologies, and in improving our services to the customers. Okay, just again, to have a quick view, where are we located in EMEA, in Europe? As I mentioned, we are covering 18 countries, and we have offices in the countries we are specifying here. We are expanding, so recently we opened a new office in Dubai, so we are growing, and the business as well is growing together with us. So if you can, Max. A bit of our history, and I don't want to be so I will be very concise here. We started in 1973. 1973, our founder now is Sir David McMurtry. He was just working for Rolls-Royce, and he was trying to fix an issue, and he invented the probe, the touch trigger probe. This is very specific in our business, so probably you are not so used to that that product. We started in 1973. Since then, we continued growing and expanding our business. In the 80s, we had an international expansion, flotation on the London Stock Exchange. In the 90s, we reached 1,000 employees worldwide. in 2000s, we reached the worldwide sales of 100 million pounds, and we established the neurological product. Neurological product, we are specifically based in neurosurgery. So we have specific robots for very specific neurosurgeries. It's a very concrete and very innovative robot, the one we have. So in the 2010, we reached 5,000 employees worldwide. In the 2020, we start introducing and working in other type of projects. We started with an objective, clear objective related to sustainability, which is net zero emissions. So we are working really hard on achieve this objective, working on sustainability. We will see it a bit later. And this year, we have celebrated our 15th anniversary worldwide. So we are very proud on this history and the achievements we have had. We have been working really hard. Renishaw is a company that it is very focused on the employees. We invest in our employees, and we really work towards our employees. I must say, and different to other companies I've been working on, this is a very special company, and you can really feel how we treat people and how comfortable people feel in the company, how we support them in developing their careers, in providing the tools they need. So all this was converted, or we launched it last year, our 4 values that identifies us, which are innovation. Probably you have seen how innovative we are, how we invest in innovation. Integrity, you will see later as well. So one of our main projects as well worldwide is EDI. So it's diversity, equality, and inclusion. We are really focused on that area as well. Involvement, again, we are multinational companies, so we work all together. We want everyone make part of the decision and on the successes. And inspiration, we are inspiring others to grow, to continue innovating, and to fulfill and to service our customers. So these are our 4 values. And 2 key projects, as I commented, that we are really focused and committed is our sustainability commitment. So reaching this net zero objective. We started in UK, in our headquarters. A lot of solar panels, not only solar panels, we are also converting company cars from diesel or gas oil to hybrid or full electric cars. So we are really committed to this objective worldwide as a company. The other project we are working really hard as well, which is not technical, so I'm not talking about technical aspects now. If you can move forward, please, Max. EDI, okay, so equality, diversity, and inclusion. This is really important for us. So we want everyone to feel part of this family with no discrimination. We are all the same, and we are really investing and participating in worldwide projects, locally from the countries, globally. As a company, we have a department that it is focused on that project. And then individually from the countries, we can collaborate locally with some foundations, with NGOs, entities. We have implemented some nice initiative to support, okay, and to protect and to make sure that we cover this activity and this commitment. We also have some trainings, specific trainings in a platform we are using for training for our employees. All employees in Renishaw EMEA, they have access to this training. So we are really focusing and providing the tools, as I told you, to the employees so that we can help everyone in this journey. And just to finalize my presentation on a bit of HR feeling, currently we have some open positions. We are, as a technical company, our main requests and positions are on the technical side. So we have nowadays 16 technical positions, 9 positions related to sales, 2 positions related to finance, and 7 positions related to admin support jobs. As you can imagine, we are a technological company, we are an engineering, so our subsidiaries in the countries, they are mainly focused on providing this support, these services to our customers. This is why in the subsidiaries in the countries, our main positions are based on the technical roles and on sales role, which at the same time, they are also quite technical, and Max can confirm that. So if you are looking for new opportunities, if you are interested in understanding better what are we looking for, what are our requirements, what is Renishaw, you can just please take a look at the CERN alumni website, and you will find there all our opportunities. So that's all from my side.
Okay.
Do
you want me to take over, Esther? I guess
please.
The questions will be at the end, I assume.
Please.
Correct, Rachel? Yeah. Okay, let's
correct. Yeah, please go for it, Max.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I have the hard task of trying to explain you what we do in a few minutes. Well, a little bit more than a few minutes, but again, just building on what Esther just said, you see on the bottom right of our slides, we have a mantra, which is apply innovation. So as she correctly said, we invented basically the modern industrial metrology with the invention of the contact probe, which I will show you later how basically it works. But this mantra, I would say, is as itself transformed in a sort of vision, which what we call is transforming tomorrow together. So basically, we want to help our customers developing products that actually change their offering, and actually in general the way we as a society we benefit from the advances of technology. So basically we are separating our activities in 3 big groups. One is the product group, which is definitely the by far the largest, where we basically try to help customers manufacturing, but also checking the results of what they have manufactured and the actual precision and accuracy of the product that they can actually deliver to the final user. Then we have the materials, checking what is inside the materials they manufacture with the Raman spectroscopy, and also the neurological therapies that I will actually dig deeper a little bit on later on in my presentation. Our customers, as you can imagine, are basically in almost all the domains, even if historically we have been working with the aerospace and automotive, mainly because we started with the mechanical industry, which was the one that was requiring most our industrial metrology competences. But we moved to electronics, and later on also to health with the neurosurgical robots, but also to pharmaceutics with Raman, precision manufacturing in general, and of course R&D and scientific applications, where again the spectroscopy takes a big part of it. Okay. So our expertise, as I said, the first one is industrial metrology. Basically, we help people measuring their products or manufacture them properly within the specifications that are given to them by the customers. So we have different products here. I just want to show you how one of them works. For instance, the 3D measuring machines, basically machines measuring in space the pieces, the parts that the customer has manufactured. The video will open. So you see the Renishaw probe and how it actually touches the object. This is an engine, okay? And by touching or scanning the surface, everything is of course connected to an external computer, but we can basically reconstruct an image of the object. We can also do that with non-contact probing. In this case, you see there is light, which is being shot. All the data, of course, are collected, and we are able to reconstruct basically a 3D image of the object, and the customer can check if it actually fits with the CAD layout they wanted to, concretely realize. And as you can imagine, this actually demands quite a certain, I would say, ability to control movements precisely, electronics, interface to computers, and software. Another way we can help our customers is by helping them setting up the right process to properly manufacture their parts and not only measure them once they're finished. This is what we call the machine tool probes. I picked one. Again, hope you can see the video. And as you can see, we can actually help the customers measure the tools they are using. In this case, we have a drill, which is supposed to generate a bore. But with a laser, a non-contact laser, we can actually measure the characteristics of the tool that is being used later on for manufacturing the part. And we can actually measure, you see, length, diameter, profile, other more complex characteristics. And we can also detect, for instance, when a tool is broken or when a tool is simply too hot, because being used, it warmed up and thermal expansion changed its dimensions. So you can imagine that this is quite important whenever you have to measure high precision parts, right? So this is part of our offering, which is the bulk of our offering. We have also gauging machines, which means that we can use these machines to measure parts and compare them to an existing CAD file or to a reference sample, which is called the master. So this is the upper right part of the slide. We have, of course, a measuring machine using the technology that I showed you later with our probes scanning or shooting light on the pieces. We are able to help our customers calibrate their machine, which means basically with laser systems, tell the customers if their machines are perfectly aligned. So when they process the piece, they are actually working on the right dimensions and with perfect straightness. And of course, as you can see, we manufacture all what is needed to help this, which means basically the styli, which are basically these long sticks which are connected to the probes with a ruby ball, but can be also a diamond ball, depends on what you want to touch and scan. And of course, this is extremely important because you have to measure parts, and this is a wearable part which has to run several kilometers per day many times. And we can also help customers, of course, making fixtures. So basically fixing the parts on the measuring machines so that they don't move and they can be measured in a repeatable way or in time, okay? So this is our, let's say, the business we started with, starting from upper left, and then we developed around it. But I guess you get a sense of how we can help basically the mechanical industry, and notably in the aeronautics, automotive, but not only sectors, actually, develop precise parts that actually let the engines, for instance, of our planes flying for so many hours. We have also an expertise in position measurement. This is probably a little bit more appealing to people in CERN, which means that we have encoders which are able to basically track and measure, either in a differential way or in an absolute way, the displacement of, for instance, a leg of a telescope or anything like this. I've given you a couple of examples on the right-hand side of the slide. On the upper part, you see that, for instance, on the satellites of the Meteosat third generation, they have infrared and near-infrared cameras, and they are sitting on the devices that I've reported here. You can see the two pictures, but basically the legs, they are moving, and they have to move precisely in order to point in the right direction. And even a small angular deviation makes a huge difference, as you can imagine. This is where our encoders basically control the precise movement of the legs. And on the bottom side of the slide, what you can see is what we did to an observatory in Israel, where we basically refurbished the telescope by in changing and the motors and controlling their movement thanks to our resolute encoders. And this helped, of course, basically improve the accuracy of the telescope. So this is something that is a little bit far away from what I've shown you before, but it's part of our innovation path. And we normally try to integrate all what we know and the technology that we propose to our customers also to our own manufacturing. So for instance, the encoders that you can see here, they've been used and they are used to control the movement of the gauging system, which is here on the upper right-hand side of the slide. Okay, so everything is centralized and manufactured in the UK because we want to protect our savoir-faire, our know-how, and we also believe that there is an interest in concentrating manufacturing to make some economies of scale and be able to be competitive also on the market. But what is important here is that we develop that technology that we propose to our customers because we believe in it and we use it for our own manufacturing. So this is the second domain that I wanted to show after the industrial metrology, the position measurement. Then there is another one, which is quite fancy, and it's, I would say a lot of people are doing it or trying to do it because it's not that easy. We are also active in additive manufacturing. So we build a machine that let our customers build their own parts. The advantage coming from additive manufacturing is that you can simply realize things, especially when you're using metals, that you couldn't actually realize with the, let's say, standard method. The technology here is very simple. Basically, you have a layer of metal powder, and this layer of metal powder is exposed to the selective energy of one or few lasers, which are melting the power. Once you have melted the power where it has to be melted in alignment with the design of your part, then the laser stops. Another layer of powder, I'm talking about few tenths of microns, is actually deposited. And again, you melt it again. And then you repeat the process. And after 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on the complexity and size of the part, you get something which is mechanically extremely robust with very nice properties, but at the same time with shapes that normally you cannot realize with traditional techniques. So we build these machines, and we, of course, install and propose them to our customers. And we serve basically all the industries. You see here, the two pictures on the left are basically on the upper part are parts for engines. I'm talking mainly about airplanes engines to make them lighter and then consume less, but at the same time, keep an excellent mechanical performance. But we are also doing things in different domains. For instance, we are helping the UK cycling team and Lotus, which is a UK bike manufacturer, to develop specific and custom-made bikes with parts which have been manufactured with additive manufacturing. This makes, of course, the idea is to improve the performance, right, and maybe to achieve new records. By the way, we are sponsoring also Ineos, the UK team that will be a challenger to the America's Cup. So we also, in that case, provide additive manufactured parts to the boat, which is going to run. And at the bottom part of this slide, I think you can see also something that could be quite interesting. This is more for health applications. On the right-hand side, you see, of course, a dental application. As you can imagine, each one of us is a unique individual. And then additive manufacturing is the only way you can build a prosthesis which is really fitting with your characteristics and with your needs. So this is for man, but as you can see on the left-hand side, I thought it was quite nice. This is what we did for a dog who had a major cancer in the nose. He had to be operated, and basically the family wanted him to survive, and we actually manufactured this specific, as you can see, this sort of mesh that was realized with additive manufacturing, and that basically helped the dog survive and actually rebuild the tissues around this mesh. So as you can see, additive manufacturing is not only quite interesting and actually requires the fact that you control and run the lasers and their optics very precisely. You have to have a deep knowledge of the metal powders. Of course, you have to definitely control the stability of the machine, but the applications are huge. And there are a lot of domains where we can actually bring value. And again, they are far from the normal industry. They can be also in the health industry, which is quite interesting. To stay more on the health industry, which is also something we take care of. Esther, I think she spoke a bit about the neurosurgical robots. You can see the picture there. Basically, using the and you now understood. You probably have now understood how we work. The fact that we implement our own innovation in our products means that, for instance, the robots that you can see, their movements are controlled by our encoders, the one that I showed you before that have been used also in satellites and in telescopes. And this means that we can precisely, for instance, tell a robot where to place inside the brain of somebody affected by Parkinson, for instance, how we can actually, put an electrode that will actually solve the problem. And if you look on the internet, you will see some nice videos where people who are really, suffering of Parkinson and trembling all the time, once the electrode is activated, they basically go back to normal. So that's really great. And we can also have systems or implant systems which are delivering drugs at a regular time over the day, or at a specific time during the day. And this can also help with some pathologies, right? And finally, healthcare means also what you eat, what you get in your, your water bottles, or in general on the ingredients that are actually used to provide, for instance, food, but not only. And that's where we use Raman spectroscopy. So we use the Raman effect in order to detect the presence of contaminants, for instance. And for instance, just as an example, we help Evian, the manufacturer of water in France, a major seller of water in plastic bottles, and they check the contaminants level, the plastics, which are actually in the water with a Raman spectroscopy system. So we also believe that applying innovation then is something that is to profit society at large. That's why we want to empower our customers with our technology in order to, to go in what we believe is the right direction for the good of humanity. Of course, we are a company, so we have to be profitable, we have to make money, but there is nothing wrong with it. It's the way it is, and actually the money that we get is reinvested, as Esther said. Normally, it's a two-digit percentage we reinvested in order to continue innovating, and again, for the good at large of society and not only of our own results. I would say that this is mainly it for us today. I can imagine it was quite quick, maybe especially on the technical side, but I didn't want to bother you with too many details. But of course, we are open for questions, both on what Esther said, generally speaking about the company, and of course to myself. On the technical side, I would be more than happy to answer. And in any case, we can always reach out, at least for me on the technical side, on the CERN alumni platform in case of questions. Rachel, I don't know if there are any questions maybe in the chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Max. And also Esther. For the time being, I think everyone was concentrated on your talk, so we don't actually have any in the chat, but perhaps we have some people who would be happy to come on cam and ask their questions. I think maybe people are a bit shy. Perhaps I could kick it off, if that's okay. Mm-hmm. I can't see any hands up for the moment. I was wondering, probably this is one for Esther, if you could describe your recruitment process, please. So we've seen that there are some opportunities open at the moment. There's multiple opportunities open. People can find these opportunities on alumni.cern. So yeah, what's the process, please?
Sorry, I was on mute. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. We try to have a smooth and easy recruitment process. So usually when we have a need, we agree with the manager and with the hiring manager on the specifications on the position, and therefore we customize a bit our job description and our job offer. It is we have like two separate and processes in parallel. We are working with software which is called Workday, so we need to run the process as well from the operational side on Workday. So we create a job requisition which is published, is disseminated through different channels. Aside this standardized process we have worldwide in Renishaw, what we do is, accordingly to the position and to the country, we work very close with specific business schools, with specific centers in the country that can help us to look for these new positions or people. So we publish as well the job offer, the description, and we receive the candidates. We receive all the CVs. We have a brief and fast screening on these CVs, and we start with those that they comply with the initial requirements. We have some first interviews, and then we have like 2-3 interviews maximum, depending on the position we are hiring. It's usually combined with the technical part, because HR, we are not technicians, so there are parts that we can't understand in a deep as a technician, or a more focused people can understand. So it's usually combined. It's a technical manager together with HR. So from both sides, we make sure that the people we are hiring, they fit on one side our technical needs, and on the other side our values and our competencies, so that we try to make sure by both parties, and also for the candidate, that the hiring and the incorporation and the career development will be successful.
Thank you. Are they, just out of interest, are they in-person interviews or online, or?
It's a combination, because I'm based in Barcelona, so I travel a lot. I'm every week in a different country, but it is done personal, face-to-face, with the technical manager or with the manager in the country. And then if I cannot be at the country at that time, I have on Teams online interview. But we combine both. It's important to have a face-to-face contact. It helps a lot.
Sure.
Yeah,
and just one thing, does it, what's the duration from when you first submit your application to when you potentially could be recruited?
It depends. It depends on the position, and it depends on the country. I don't know, Max. You probably can help me in France. How long it usually takes? 1 month?
Normally, it's in the range of 1 month. Within 1 month, we try to. Actually, we are very well. Let's say we are screening quite quickly in order to reduce the number of, let's say, candidates to a few of them, and then we go through at least 1 interview, which then leads normally to a final, or maybe another couple of interviews with just two people, something like that, and then we make the final call. But it can be, and we try to actually to devote quite some time to that. It's quite important. And if I'm actually Esther, I'm a little bit talking at your place, but we need actually to have both the technical, of course, part of it covered, and also what we call the soft skills. But I should say that we would rather prefer somebody with the right soft skills. It's preferable, I would say, and then the person can be technically trained inside Renishaw. We would rather go for, again, somebody with the right soft skills and maybe not the right technical background than the other way around. So we normally go for, as Esther said, we take care of our employees. When we hire somebody, normally is for a long time. Actually, in Renishaw, seniority is it's so often counted in many years or tens of years, even if things are changing a bit, culturally speaking. I mean, overall, the society at large. But normally, when somebody joins Renishaw, it has to be a good fit, and normally they feel well and they stay long. So soft skills are probably, I would say, even more important than the technical one. The technical one, you can always get them. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No, I just want to compliment Max's comment. That's absolutely true. And we have very specific training for our employees. So according on the technical side and on the soft skill side, as he said, I mean, it's important for us the human side. Therefore, we have worked on technical programs to cover the gaps that can exist between the requirements of the position and the competences. So we can cover this area quite well through these programs we have.
Okay, great, thank you. So we have Michael who wants to ask a question, which is also related to recruitment. Mike, would you like to come on camera to ask your question, please?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks for the great presentation. I would be interested in knowing where are you recruiting most people? Is it mainly in the UK, or do you also have jobs in Switzerland or France? I'm mostly interested in Switzerland because I'm staying here. So
yeah.
And how maybe the Swiss company? Sorry, how big is Renishaw in Switzerland? That'd be interesting.
Okay. We have nowadays we are recruiting in all countries in EMEA. We have open positions. In Switzerland, we have currently open positions there. It's not our big or biggest subsidiary. Let's say it's one of the smallest one probably in Switzerland in terms of people, but it's a very strong brand, the one we have in Switzerland. So if you want to just take a look on CERN or in our website, you will find all the possibilities we have. But yeah, we recruit mainly in all countries nowadays. We are expanding, we are growing.
Yeah, actually, just to add a few comments. As I said, Renishaw is more than 5,000 employees. It's clear that having manufacturing basically concentrated in the UK means that, say, half of our population is located in the UK. So your assumption that we are mainly hiring the UK could be, let's say, confirmed by this statistic. In reality, as Esther said, we have a very strong activity in the subsidiaries in mainly all the countries. And quite often then we have also open position in the subsidiaries. We have also recently hired in France, for instance. So do not hesitate to have a look, because the fact that we are a UK company doesn't mean that job openings are only there. There are really many opportunities across Europe nowadays. Yeah. And actually elsewhere, worldwide. Now we decided today to focus more on the European picture because we thought it was more appropriate for today's discussion. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
So yes, don't hesitate everybody to go on alumni.cern and look at the jobs that we have published there. So I saw that Milos had a question to ask. Milos, would you like to come on cam and ask your question, please?
Hello. So could you share a bit insight about the graduate programs at Renishaw? And is it just for graduates or is it for young talents? And are the participants, are they rotated across different countries and different roles? How does it look? Thank you.
Welcome. Sure. We have a strong graduate program mainly in our headquarters in the UK. They have been implementing that for years, and they rotate, as you mentioned. So they spend time through all the different areas we have in a company, and as much as it is possible, we cannot offer a place for everyone. But the intention is for those that can fit really to find there as well an opportunity with Renishaw. We have also a graduates program in Germany. Germany is one of our biggest or the biggest subsidiary we have in Europe. They are also running a graduate program, which also means that the students are rotating through the different departments. The aim, as always, is providing an opportunity to them if there's an opportunity when they finish the program. Again, we cannot promise anything because there's a lot of graduates. So being realistic, it's almost impossible to offer a position to all of them. The aim is just to offer, at least during a period of time, a place and understanding on how a company works, a multinational company like Renishaw works with all the departments. Then more locally, we have another type of program as well. We call it internship program, where we, in the countries, we are in touch with different schools and universities, and we welcome students for a period of time. It can be 6 months, it can be 1 year, where they implement some type of project with us. They support us, so we work together. Technical and non-technical, I mean, we are covering both sides. And this is also a program that we are implementing and developing in our countries with the aim, again, to facilitate to the employees the transition and the journey to a company, and if possible as well, bringing them up an opportunity to join Renishaw when they finish the program.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. So we have another question now from Salman. Salman, would you like to come and on cam and ask your question, please?
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Esther. Like, really nice products. And thank you for walking us through that. So I was curious, like, how open are you to hiring non-EU candidates or non-UK candidates for position? Like, are you able to offer them visa support? Yeah, primarily that. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, to be honest, we don't have that much candidates coming from outside EU, so we are not so used to receive these applications, these applicants. But of course, as a multinational company, we support, and if there's a candidate that can fit and it fits with the requirements, yeah, we offer support on all the paperwork. In fact, we are doing that. As I mentioned, we have opened an office in Dubai. It requires as well from our side a lot of paperwork for hiring people, etc. So yeah, absolutely, we support. And this is part of one of our values as well. So no problem. We focus on the people, and if it's possible, we support. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, just a side comment, we recently hired an additive manufacturing technician in France who will be strongly collaborating with our solution center in Barcelona. And this guy comes from Cameroon. So that's not a problem.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's really good to hear.
Thank you. Now, we did have a question as well from Maurice. Maurice, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it in the English or the French way. Would you like to come on cam, please, to ask your question as well?
Yes, I believe I am on cam. Can you hear me?
We can hear you brilliantly, yes.
Okay, so now a very short, straightforward question. I'm an ex-user of the Renishaw products. I know them already. I know several products. I was previously working in the machine tool industry, and I've used probes and the bulbar and that sort of things.
Good.
And some laser equipment as well. I'd be very interested to. I've always tried to stay in contact with some people that I got to know from Renishaw, including people from the UK that came to troubleshoot some things in our company. And yeah, to be straightforward, I'd be very interested in a role with Renishaw. It'd be a nice company for me to work with. This affinity for precision and measuring and activities like that. So, but at the same time, I'm also an R&D person. So I was wondering, because I could imagine a customer service role. I know you have them around all around Europe, really, and also in Switzerland. But R&D, where is it taking place mostly?
Okay. Well, it's the answer is quite easy. Most of the R&D, but not exclusively, most of the R&D is done in New Mills, which is our headquarters. You have seen a nice picture of the place, I think, at the beginning of the presentation.
Yeah, I missed that part. I'm sorry. I came in late.
No problem. No issue at all. But let's say R&D is concentrated in the UK. and in new mills specifically, which is our let's say mother site, the mother of all our sites. And this is done on purpose. We really believe that centralizing R&D actually let us exchange and have all the division groups talk to each other and cross-fertilize with ideas. Again, we integrate our, let's say, innovations to our own production, and we have the divisions talk to each other so that they can benefit from the advances they make. But again, this is so main of the R&D is in the UK, but it's not 100% of the R&D. For instance, I can talk about a new line of products that we recently launched, which is actually helping customers calibrate their robots for industrial automation, 4.0 migration, this kind of stuff. And this part of the R&D has been made in France, here in our office in Paris. So let's say mainly in the UK, but not exclusively. That would be my answer. So it really depends on the kind of product or developments you are interested in. It will really depend on the product group basically you belong to. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
And to stay in contact, not a problem. I guess you have the coordinates, how you can reach out to us. It would be a pleasure also for me to discuss later, maybe dig deeper a little bit on the technical side. You mentioned ball bar, so I think you are really familiar with our products.
Yeah. There are a bunch of products. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, good.
Okay, yeah, I'd be happy to exchange in more detail later with
yeah, no problem. Feel free.
either you or with Esther, perhaps also.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I've sent you individually a message, but I got your contact details. I'll write you a mail.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Great. That must be very pleasing to have people that are fans of your products.
Absolutely. That at the end, that's what makes the business. Is not really the rest.
Mm. I was wondering, unless anybody has any questions, I do have a couple of questions. One of them is related to flexible working, teleworking, things like that. How does that work at Renishaw? How does it work with you?
We have a policy for hybrid working, so it's absolutely working in Renishaw. In all countries, at least in EMEA, I'm sure in all countries, it's a corporate policy. And as we have been mentioning during the call, we try to support always our employees to make easy the combination and the conciliation between personal life and professional life. So just immediately after COVID, we implemented this policy to help our people to combine and to have a more healthy and balanced life, let's say it. So yeah, it's in place. We have this implemented as well.
Okay. And so is that 3 days at work, 2 days off, or is it really according to each person, or?
Yes, it's depending on the position, because there are positions that they are always mostly off. Our technicians or sales people, they are visiting customers, they are making installations, so they are not usually in the office. So we need to provide something for them specifically. On the other side, we have also some profiles that I don't know, that they need to be in the office mostly of the time. Let's say someone who is on a reception, probably, we need this person mostly to be at the office, but we also offer some combination for these positions. And then we have those people that can work either at home or at the office. Then we have a separate as well program, not program, but we have a separate schedule for them. So we try to custom. It's not one shot for everyone. It doesn't work in Renishaw. It doesn't work for us. So we customize it and we understand different type of people, different needs, and therefore different solutions.
Great, thank you. So I was asking if there are any more questions in the chat. I can't see anybody, and I can't see anybody with a hand raised. So I was just going to ask maybe one final question, and this is, are you currently working with CERN?
Okay, you mean working with CERN means being involved in metrology directly? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
it's difficult to answer. Why that? Not because we do not know our business, but because in our understanding, there is a metrology group at CERN. They probably have measuring machines. So the very first video, basically, I showed you. The point is that those machines are normally manufactured by our customers, who can actually mount our probes on them. So, which means that normally we sell to these machine manufacturing guys, and they sell to the end users. So it may well be that in your metrology lab, you have these measuring machines and that you have Renishaw probes, but they've been delivered basically by our customer. And of course, they do not necessarily disclose to us where they are selling their machines. So I should have a look to your lab to be able to tell you something around it. But it's probably likely that if there is a metrology lab, even if it is not a Renishaw measuring machine, also because we started manufacturing measuring machine only in the last few months. So we are, let's say, the newcomers in the world of the measuring machines, but we have equipped basically most of the measuring machines in the world with our probes. So it's pretty likely that you may have Renishaw probes on your machines. And in the future, who knows, if you need any advanced measuring machine, you may consider actually working with us, for sure. That would be a pleasure for me, by the way, to discuss with somebody of your metrology lab, definitely.
Always the salesman, Max. I like it.
That's my job.
I don't know, we have somebody from the measuring department here. I'm not sure who could perhaps tell us, but if not, it doesn't matter. So I think this is the last opportunity. If anybody does have any questions they want to ask, I can't see any more in the chat. So I think we can wrap it up. Everyone's probably hungry, wants to go off for lunch. So I wanted to say a very, very big thank you to both Esther and Max, and also my colleague Simona for organizing this event so brilliantly, and to everybody else for coming.